So did you have any other questions about, because I wanted to kind of run through, we ran through like kind of basic character descriptions when we met, but did you have any kind of questions about that, or?
Just a few. So Trisha, she's like a really put together person, but she's not related to any of the other girls, correct? She's just a bridesmaid.
Right, so
Okay.
she was friends with Tracy, the bride, in high school, and has, just kind of like drifted away from the rest of the group, and has like, as far as like problems go, she's got like, her problems are over here, whereas everyone else is kind of like intermingled.
Yeah.
And the one thing that, besides Tracy, that all of the girls have in common is some history with Tommy Valentine. Awesome. She just is, she's kind of jaded, and is definitely like the serious one, I guess, out of the whole group.
Okay.
I like to think of her as Little Miss Independent. Don't need no man.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because she's very. As you see, like in the scene, she's like, yeah, like I've been with guys, but like, whatever,
Right.
like, have I been in love? Like, doesn't really matter. And even like in the end, there's one male character in the play, and she they kind of get together. Because he's been flirting with her during the reception and stuff, and she, even then, is her walls are up, and she's very yeah, I don't really want this to be anything more than a hookup, and
Yeah.
and he's trying to knock down those walls of hers.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely the independent one. Whereas everyone else is kind of they're very dependent on each other in this particular event.
Yeah, okay, she just kind of floats around. I kind of feel not that she's better than other people, but she kind of feels oh, I don't deal with these little girl problems anymore. I don't know.
Right.
She just sleeps around so much. She's very adult that she's just
Definitely.
I don't know, kind of on her own. Oh, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, and something that I actually kind of wanted to go over today that we didn't touch on last time was the different power struggles that occur within the scene, because they're kind of hidden, I think, in some scenes, like Streetcar Named Desire, very obvious, who has the power here, and when it switches, and in this scene it's a little more downplayed, but those moments come through in Trisha trying to tell Georgeanne no, you don't need to worry about him, this is how you should be reacting, this is how you should feel, and then it switches with Georgeanne being no, you're wrong, this is what's right, and and so it's a little more subtle, but still there. And so I do want us to kind of explore those. Kind of play around with it there. So another thing that I forgot to mention about Georgeanne that you might have actually picked up when you were watching, is that Georgeanne was best friends with Tracy in high school.
Yeah.
But she was definitely the sidekick, and lived in Tracy's shadow. So much so that when Georgeanne ends up sleeping with Tommy, and she gets pregnant, Tracy never finds out about that, and Georgeanne has to go and get an abortion by herself.
Yeah. I saw that part, and I was
Yeah. And so that has kind of strained their relationship. From that point on, was kind of okay, well,
no, you don't care about me.
Right, no, exactly. So, yeah. Did either of you have any questions before we run through it once?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Awesome. Sounds good. Well, let's get to it. I don't want you guys to worry about moving at all right now. Just right here.
Cool, cool. Sorry, so we start off with Caroline, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, we're not recording.
God, look at me. I'm totally pathetic. I just don't want to be alone. Is that too much to ask? I mean, I still believe in marriage. I do. You don't?
But to be perfectly honest with you, Georgeanne, I think any woman who chooses marriage in this day and age is out of her mind.
You don't believe in love?
Well, I certainly believe in consideration and respect, and absolutely in sex, because it's necessary and healthy. But love, what is that? I mean, I've had so many guys tell me they love me in their life, and not a single one of them has made any difference in my life.
Maybe you haven't met the right one.
Oh, please. I've met him more times than I care to admit.
Well, maybe you just haven't given him a chance.
I have given him too many chances.
Oh, come on. What's the longest relationship you ever had? How many hours?
Well, why drag it out? I mean, he'll either just start trying to control my life or want me to be his mother.
Not all men are like that.
Well, I haven't met one who isn't, and I seriously doubt if I ever will.
Really?
Yeah.
How can you live like that?
Well, in the first place, it's not a major tragedy. I'm just being honest.
Maybe you're right. I'm probably just a hopeless romantic doomed to go through my life being disappointed. There he goes, sniffing after little Miss Navy Blue linen. God, look at the way he walks. He sure can wear a pair of pants.
I mean, what's the payoff? For having had that many women? It doesn't make him feel accomplished, wiser, or has it just become this drug he has to have?
Well, you've slept with just as many guys. What's the payoff for you?
I have not slept with as many guys.
How many guys have you slept with?
Well, I don't know. 100.
100?
Well, I haven't kept count.
Trisha, that's a lot.
Yeah, but Tommy Valentine is like Wilt Chamberlain. He's probably slept with 1,000 women.
God. I wonder if he's ever had an AIDS test.
Well, you better hope so. Did you use a condom in the parking lot?
No.
Georgeanne.
I know. Do you think he's ever done it with another man?
A guy like Tommy, as good looking as he is, I'm sure he's had opportunities.
Yeah, but he's way too good at that to be clear.
Well, that doesn't mean a thing. I met a lifeguard once. Oh, talk about good in bed. This boy could teach Tommy Valentine a thing or two. He was a total animal. He loved sex. Loved it. But then, one day I showed up at his apartment and found him in bed with a telephone repairman, which is obviously why I couldn't call him on my way to his apartment.
Oh my God, what did you do?
I went to happy hour at Bennigan's and picked up a busboy.
Have you ever had an AIDS test?
Yeah.
I'm too scared to take it. I mean, I know that the chances are slim, but with my luck. Weren't you scared?
Yeah, I was.
What made you go through with it?
Well, it seemed like the responsible thing to do, and, well, the busboy died.
Shit, Trisha. He died of AIDS? You're okay, aren't you?
Yep, Georgeanne, I'm fine.
Oh my God. I never knew anybody who actually had it.
You will?
Well, I certainly don't want Tommy Valentine to have AIDS. But I'll tell you one thing. I can't wait for him to lose his looks.
And he will. It's bound to catch up with him. He's going to end up one of those hatchet-faced old men that really handsome guys turn into.
Yes! It'll have one of those big red Ted Kennedy noses from drinking so much his whole life.
And a beer guy
He'll lose his hair.
who will golf pants.
Green golf pants that are too tight.
Yes, and he'll unbutton his shirt just a couple of buttons more than he should.
No. He won't do any of that. He'll just get better looking as he gets older. He'll never gain any weight. He'll wear a t-shirt and blue jeans without gray hair, and it'll be so gorgeous that it hurts just to look on him. I, on the other hand, will be big as a house. I'll wear too much makeup. I won't have any hair left from a lifetime of bad perms, and I'll get a skin cancer for going to the lake too much when I was in high school, and I'll wake up one morning and I'll be dead. And Tommy Valentine will read my obituary in the paper, and it won't even occur to him that he ever even knew me, much less slept with me. instead of going home today.
Oh, not necessarily. There are lots of you guys here.
Yeah, I dare you to find one who is straight, single, and who has a job.
Maybe you should lower your expectations.
Maybe I need to have a nervous breakdown. Maybe I need to have a big, loud, nasty-smelling nervous breakdown right when Dr. Merlot goes to do his Father of the Bride dance with his new recruit, Tracy Merlot. Haven, Nicole.
I'll give you $20 if you do.
Don't tell me, Trisha. I just might.
Awesome. Cool. How does that feel?
Rocky at first, and then I got into it.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah, same. I feel like though, okay, so I'm still kind of figuring out Trisha though, because I feel like I want it to be like this really like big, and she's just like kind of being, not mean to Georgeanne, but this like really big and loud person, but she's not really, because again, she's like the more mature, I don't know, more mature person out of
Right.
the five of them.
Definitely.
And so I think I was trying to like balance like what do I want to do
Okay.
at the end, so I felt very happy about it. But it was fun, good to read it. It was good to read it.
Okay. Awesome.
So, yeah.
Let's do it again, and now that we kind of have a feel for what's going on, and try something different. We did this last time, and I want you to go to like the opposite extreme of what you just did.
Okay, sorry, quick question before we begin.
Yeah.
Do you want this southern at all? I remember we talked about them being in Kentucky.
Yeah, it's in Tennessee.
Tennessee, sorry.
But you don't have to worry about it.
Okay,
You don't have to worry about throwing in an accent. It's fine.
Okay.
Especially in these early stages, because I think it sometimes is distracting
Right.
from like your work as a character. You know.
Very silly, very fast.
Right.
Okay.
Look at me. I am absolutely pathetic. I just don't want to go on. Is that too much to ask? I mean, I still believe in marriage. I do. You don't.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Georgeanne, I think any woman who chooses marriage in this day and age is out of her mind.
You don't believe in love?
Well, I certainly believe in consideration and respect. I definitely believe in sex because it's healthy and necessary. But love, what is? I've had so many guys tell me they love me, and not a single one of them has made any difference in my life.
Maybe you haven't met enough.
Please. I've met him more times than I care to admit.
Maybe you haven't given him a chance.
I've given him too many chances.
Come on. What's the longest relationship you ever had? How many hours did that last?
Well, why drag it out? He'll either start trying to control my life or want me to be his mother.
No.
Well, I have yet to meet one who isn't.
Really?
I probably might be able to. And I seriously doubt if I ever will.
Really?
Yes.
How can you live like that?
Well, in the first place, it's not a major tragedy. I'm just being honest.
Maybe you're right. I'm probably just a helpless romantic doomed to go through my life being disappointed. Look, there he goes. Sniffing at her after Little Miss Navy Blue Linen. God. Just look at the way he walks. He sure can wear a pair of pants.
What is the payoff for having had that many women? Does he feel accomplished, wiser?
Well, you slept with just as many guys. What's the payoff for you?
I have not slept with as many guys.
How many have you slept with?
I don't know. 100.
100?
Not having kept count.
Trisha! That's a lot.
Yes, but Tommy Valentine, he's like Will Chamberlain. He's probably slept with 1,000 women.
God. I wonder if he's ever had an AIDS test.
Well, you better hope so. Did he use a condom in the parking lot?
No.
Georgeanne?
I know. Do you think he's ever done it with another man?
A guy like Tommy is good looking as he is. Well, I'm sure he's had opportunities.
Yeah, but he's way too good in bed to be clear.
That doesn't mean a thing. I knew this lifeguard once talk about good bed. This boy could have taught old Tommy Valentine a trick or two. He was a total animal. He loved sex. Loved it. Then one day, I showed up at his apartment, and found him in bed with the telephone repairman, which is obviously why I hadn't been able to call him when I was on my way.
Oh my God, what did you do?
I was happy hour at immigrants and picked up a busboy.
Have you ever had a dance test?
Yes?
I'm too scared to take it. I mean, I know the chances are slim, but with my luck, weren't you scared?
Yes, I was.
What made you go through with it?
Well, it seemed like the responsible thing to do, and well, the lifeguard died.
Shit, Trisha. He died of AIDS? You're okay.
Yes, Georgeanne, I am fine.
Oh my God. I never knew anybody who actually had it.
Well, you will.
Well, I certainly don't want Tommy Valentine to have AIDS. But I'll tell you one thing. I can't wait for him to lose his looks.
Oh, and he will. It's bound to catch up with him. He's going to end up one of those hatchet-faced old men that really handsome guys turn into.
Yes, and he'll have one of those big red Ted Kennedy noses from drinking so much his whole life.
And a beer guy.
He'll lose his hair.
He'll wear golf pants.
Green golf pants that are too tight.
Yes, and he'll unbutton his shirts just a couple of buttons more than he should.
No, he won't do any of that. He'll just get better looking as he gets older. He'll never gain any weight. He'll wear a t-shirt and blue jeans and have gray hair, and it'll be so gorgeous that it hurts just to look at him. I, on the other hand, will be big as a house. I'll wear too much makeup and I won't have any hair left from a lifetime of bad perms, and I'll get skin cancer from going to the lake too much, and when I was in high school, and I'll wake up one morning and I'll be dead. And Tommy Valentine will read my obituary and in the paper, and it won't even occur to him that he ever even knew me, much less slept with me.
Well, you were right. You are crazy.
I want the ticket. Well, I guess I should give up on my fantasy of getting laid by semi-Carlone today.
Not necessarily. There are a lot of cute guys here.
Yeah, but I didn't find one who is straight single and who has a job.
Maybe you should lower your expectations.
Maybe I need to have a nervous breakdown. Maybe I need to have a big, nasty, smelly nervous breakdown right when Dr. Malone goes to do his father on the brown dance with his new and approved tracing. Hello, Hudson McClare.
I'll give you $20 if you do.
Don't let me, Trisha. I just want the one line I memorized.
Love it, love it.
I know, it's because it's your favorite.
It is.
That's a good little punch to the end, you know?
Oh, that's awesome. I really liked some of the choices you guys made. Really funny. I want to kind of go over the different power switches in the scene. So the climax of the scene is, well, I'm curious, where would you guys say the climax is?
I think there's a lot of mini climaxes, but I think, at least for my character, it's the monologue. But yeah.
Yeah, I would agree, because it's a lot of unspoken things really between them, up until then, and then it's she realizes she's I'm just gonna be a nobody. And I don't know, not that, no, that's what Georgeanne ends up being, but just that she just realizes kind of that this is what her life is. She's married to a man that she's not in love with, and she's slept with this guy who's about to get married to her best friend, whatever,
Yeah.
So probably the laugh would be the climax. But.
No, absolutely. Spot on. Yeah, so throughout the scene, Trisha usually has the power. She's very, she's holding it the whole time. Georgeanne, tries to take it away from her by, accusing her of things and, trying to, ruffle Trisha's feathers in a sense, but never quite succeeds until the monologue, where, yeah, she takes everything that they've talked about and she's like, you know what, you're wrong. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. And that switch in power is kind of what So I want us to do it again. Mostly I want to do all these run-throughs just because it helps memorize and like, you know. But yeah, so I want to do it again, kind of keeping that in mind, so, I mean, we know when Georgeanne's power switch is. In the beginning, Trisha's holding it. During their whole little bit of the conversation of, well, maybe you haven't met the right one, or, oh, not all men are like that, you're trying to kind of take it from her. I really like this last choice that you made when you were like mocking her, when you said, how many hours did that last? I really like that. That's a strong choice. So like even in all of this, yeah, you're trying to kind of like steal it back from her. And she's just, you know, deflecting it like, nope, that's not the case. And then we hit kind of a beat where Georgeanne sees Tommy and is like, oh, okay, like, I'm distracted now, you know? And then Trisha kind of brings it back, kind of deflecting, I don't know if that's the right word. I've been trying to like think of what the right word is there, because most of what she's saying kind of applies to herself as well. She's talking about Tommy as like, well, you know, what's the payoff for having had this many women? Like, is he wiser? Does he feel accomplished? And really, I think that's kind of like questions that she internally asks herself about how she's been living her life and like what has it done for her. So like starting from that, from where Trisha is talking there, through the end of that page, with like Wilt Chamberlain having slept with 1,000 women, is kind of like not a shared power, but like a back and forth. Trisha doesn't necessarily have it, but like
more like a conversation.
right, exactly. And then when here you can write things down if you need to.
I'm really good at remembering things, but thanks.
Yeah. And then when you start talking about AIDS, I do want, on that moment of, I wonder if he's ever had an AIDS test, like, I want to see that moment of realization of like, oh, yeah, like, he slept with all of these women, like, what does that mean for me? I wonder if he's ever gotten an AIDS test.
Yeah, I was wondering if you want them more leaning towards like, oh no, or leaning more towards, I guess, like, just saying it, kind of just like, trying not to get too deep.
I'll let you play with it.
Play with it.
Yeah. We'll kind of figure something out.
Okay. But yeah, I'll have more discovery and realization there.
Okay. I think it was just like this last, I think the first time was better. This last time it felt like more of a throwaway line.
Yeah. I was trying to do like the complete opposite than what I was doing before.
Fair. And I told you to do that. So that's totally fair. And we realized that it doesn't really work. So. Okay, so then going down when Trisha talks about the lifeguard, that's her grabbing the power back. Because now she's like, yeah, well, like, Georgeanne says like, oh, he's too good in bed to be a queer. And she's like, oh, well, let me tell you my experience. Focus is back on me.
Yeah.
And here's my story. And then she just holds it up until Georgeanne's monologue. So that's a lot of information. But another thing that I wanted to point out, I want you guys to slow down. Because a lot of the lines aren't coming through clear because they're rushing.
I will admit that is like, I struggle with that so bad. So I'm gonna like remember that and practice to slow down.
Okay.
No,
I
do-
literally
I
am so
do
bad
too.
at that. So,
Well, it just, yeah, both of you in like longer chunks of text, yeah, just be aware of that. Because I think when there's only like one line, it's like, oh, well, yeah, I can say that. But sometimes we get in our heads about like longer monologues or like whatever that's like, oh, well, I have to get done quick because whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, just be aware of that. And I think that is it for that. Would it be too distracting for you guys to, I mean, I know I can see you want to get up. I can see it.
I've got up.
Right, yeah, like, would it be too distracting for you to like play around with that?
No, for sure.
After everything I just said.
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm a mover. I can't help
No,
it.
that's good. Okay, so yeah, I want you guys to use there's the blocks here. We'll go through it once, and if we realize that there are like some spots that require more, then by all means we can add a block. Tommy, so I should have brought with me my little, I have like a ground plan of what the stage looks like. The window is going to be like right in front of you, or like right up, kind of off to the side-ish.
Like kind of like here.
Yeah.
And then where is like, are we doing like the vanity, like the mirror sort of thing?
Yeah, so the vanity is actually upstage. Like, right here area. So I should probably start here. And I mean, yeah, you can, I mean, it doesn't have to be like against the back wall. It can be like turned or whatever so that you can get more.
I'll just kind of like.
I'm gonna be doing my makeup in a little.
Okay.
Just go?
Yeah.
Oh, can you see?
Yeah, you're good. God.
Look at me. I'm totally pathetic. I just don't want to be alone. Is that too much to ask? I mean, I still do the marriage. I do. You don't.
Well,
That's another thing I want to pause. Give her a reason to say that line.
right. Okay.
So I mean, like in the script, it says that she kind of laughs. It doesn't have to be that, but just like.
So not just ignoring, right? 'Cause
Right. Yeah. Not like you can't hear
I'm just
her.
like hearing this, like I'm like, what is Georgeanne talking about right now?
Right. Yeah. So even if it's just kind of like an eye roll or like something.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want me to start with that line?
Yeah. That's fine.
God, look at me. I am totally pathetic. I just don't want to be alone. I mean, is that too much to ask? I mean, I still believe in marriage. I do. You don't?
To be perfectly honest, Georgeanne, I think any woman who chooses marriage in this day and age is out of her mind.
You don't believe in love.
Well, I certainly believe in respect and consideration and sex, of course, because it's healthy and necessary. But love, what is that? I've had so many men tell me that they love me, and not a single one of them has made any difference in my life.
Maybe you haven't met him yet.
I've met him too many times. Took more time than I expected.
Well, maybe you haven't given him a chance.
I have given him too many chances.
Come on. What's the longest relationship you ever had? How many hours did that last?
Well, why drag it out? I mean, he'll either just start trying to control my life or want me to be his mother.
Not all men are like that.
Well, I certainly haven't met one who isn't.
Really?
I don't think I will. Yes.
How can you live like that?
Well, in the first place, it's not a major tragedy. I'm just being honest.
Babe, you're right. I'm probably just going to be a hopeless romantic doomed to be disappointed for the rest of my life. Oh, look. There he goes, sniffing after little Miss Navy Blue Linen. God. Look at the way he walks. He could wear a pair of pants.
I mean, what's the payoff, though? Having had that many women? I mean, does it make him feel accomplished, wiser? Or is it just some sort of drug that he has to have?
Well, you said slept with just as many guys.
I have not slept with as many men.
How many guys have you slept with?
I don't know, 100. 100. Oh, sorry, I haven't kept count.
That's a lot.
Yes, but Tommy Valentine, he's like Wilt Chamberlain. He's probably slept with 1,000 women. God,
I wonder if he's ever had an AIDS test.
you better hope so. Georgeanne, did you have a condom on in the parking lot?
No.
Georgeanne.
I know. You think he's ever done it with a man?
Well, a guy like Tommy, as good looking as he is, I'm sure he's had opportunity.
Oh, yeah, but he's way too good in bed to be queer.
That doesn't even thing. I met this lifeguard once. And talk about sex. He could teach Tommy Valentine a thing or two. But, he was a total animal. He loved sex. Loved it. Then one day, I showed up at his apartment, and I found him in bed with a telephone repairman, which is obviously why I couldn't call him on my way over.
Oh my God, what did you do?
I went to Happy Hour at Finnegan's and picked up a bus boy.
Have you ever had an
Yes.
I'm too scared to take it. I mean, I know the chances are slim, but what's my allowed? Weren't you scared?
Yep, I was.
What made you go through with it?
Well, I felt like it was the responsible thing to do, and, well, the lifeguard died.
Shit, Trisha. You died in. You're okay, aren't you?
Georgeanne, I'm fine.
Oh my God. I never knew anybody who actually had it.
You will.
Well, I certainly don't want Tommy Valentine to have it. But I tell you one thing. I can't wait for him to lose his looks.
Oh, he will. It's bound to catch up with him, and he's going to be one of those acid-faced old men that really good-looking men turn into.
Yes, and he'll have one of those big red Ted Kennedy noses from drinking so much his whole life.
And a beer gut. Oh, I bet he'll wear golf pants.
Green coat pants that are too tight.
Yes, and he'll unbutton his shirt just a few more buttons than he should.
No. He won't do any of that. He'll just get better looking as he gets older, and he'll never gain any weight. He'll wear a t-shirt and blue jeans and have gray hair, and will be so gorgeous that it hurts just to look at him. I, on the other hand, will be as big as a house. I'll wear too much makeup. I won't have any hair left from a lifetime of bad perms, and I'll get skin cancer from going to the lake too much when I was in high school. And I'll wake up one morning and I'll be dead. And Tommy Valentine will read my obituary in the paper. It won't even occur to him that I ever even knew him, much less slept with him.
You were right. You are crazy.
I'm on sick ticket. Well, I guess I should give up my fantasy of getting laid by Sonny Corleone tonight.
Not necessarily. I mean, there are lots of you guys here.
Yeah, but I dare you to find one who is straight, single, oh, and has a job.
Maybe you should lower your expectations.
Maybe I need to have a big nervous breakdown. Maybe I need to have a big, loud, nasty, smelly nervous breakdown right when Dr. Malone goes to do his Father of the Dance with the new and approved Tracy Malone, Tyson McCraw.
I'll give you $20 if you do.
Do not hurt me, Trisha. I just might.
That's right.
Good. No, that was good. Go ahead and take a seat. Yeah, there were some really good things happening there. I really liked Sydney. I can't remember where it was. I was like trying to trying to remember. You walked back to the vanity though.
It was the whole like, was he wearing a condom? And I was like,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, I really liked that, especially in that moment because it's like as she's saying that, it's like you're kind of like trying to avoid that. Like, oh, I'm just over here looking at my makeup. Like, don't.
I was fixing my face.
Yeah, like don't worry about me.
She did just bawl her eyes out like a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, she totally did. Like when she walks in, like her very first scene, she like walks into the bedroom, has like champagne in her hand, bawling, and like kicks the door. Like, and she's so upset, and then she turns and realizes that there are other people in there. And she's like, oh hi. Like,
Oh, hi there.
Yeah, so I really liked that. I loved the way that Angie, the way that you said your busboy line. That it was I liked like it was like the lean back and like, yep, I did that. Like, and it kind of like counteracted something that I also have a note about. While Trisha is like a mature woman, she's not like a proper English lady.
Yes.
Which is like kind of a vibe that I'm getting.
No, absolutely. I think, yes. Okay. Yes.
And I think that
I apologize.
no, you're totally fine. I mean, we're working through it. It's good.
Okay.
I think part of it too, and like really like use your script. I appreciate like trying to do whatever. But there are a lot of times when you, instead of saying guys, you say men, and I think that like brings on this like seriously like this British persona. Like,
Yeah, she's like, I was having so many men today.
no, seriously.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Especially in the times when Georgeanne is saying guys.
And then I reply with men. I did realize that.
Yeah,
Okay,
and it's
cool.
just kind of like a weird, off-putting, like, oh wait, what?
What era are we in right now?
So this is in the 90s.
Just kidding, that was a joke.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry, that was me joking. I'm in 19th century England right now. Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. When Georgeanne starts doing her monologue, no, he won't do any of that. As you start into that, I want you to like stand, because this is your moment of power, right?
Yeah.
So I want you to stand and kind of like watch Tommy out the window. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I feel that, yes.
Yeah, because I mean, as you're listing all of these things, you can still see him. It's like, yep, he's this gorgeous man, and like he's gonna be perfect. And then, and then when you start talking about like yourself, you can break away from that and turn back and be like, but I, like, because it breaks like that connection between you and Tommy. In the end, at the very end, in like because you're still holding the power through the rest of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So Trisha, I want you to stay seated. Because you like stood at the end, which I mean, it's fine. We're playing with the space. But like as it was happening, I was like, oh yeah, because Georgeanne is still in the moment, and when you stand, it kind of. No, I mean, it does steal from her, but then it ends up like evening out between you, whereas she's still like has this threat of like, yeah, I'm gonna go and have this breakdown. But other than that, it was good. You guys are coming along. See, let's do it one more time, and then I think we'll be done.
be honest with you, Georgeanne, I think any woman who chooses marriage in this day and age is out of her mind.
Don't you believe in love?
Well, I certainly believe in consideration and respect, and of course I believe in sex, because it's necessary and healthy. But love, what is that? I mean, I've had so many guys tell me that they love me, and then not a single one of them has made any difference in my life.
Maybe. You haven't met the right one yet.
Oh, please. I've met him more times than I care to admit.
Well, maybe. We just haven't given him a chance.
I have given him too many chances.
Oh, come on. What's the longest relationship you've ever been in? How many hours did that last?
Well, why drag it out? He'll just start trying to run my life, or else he'll want me to be his mother.
Not all men are like that.
Well, I have yet to meet one who isn't, and I seriously doubt if I ever will.
Really?
Yes.
How can you live like that?
Well, in the first place, it's not a major tragedy. I'm just being honest.
Maybe you're right. I'll probably just be a hopeless romantic doomed to go through life being a disgrace. There he goes, sniffing after little Miss Navy linen. God, look at the way he walks. He looks so good in those pants. Oh.
I mean, what's the payoff? For having had that many women now? Does it make him feel accomplished?
Well,
What?
you just slept with just as many guys. What's the payoff for you?
I have not slept with this many guys. How many guys have you slept with? I don't know. 100.
100.
I haven't kept count.
Oh my gosh, Trisha, that's a lot.
Okay, but Tommy Valentine is like Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, he's probably slept with 1,000 women.
Yeah. I wonder you better had the next step.
You better hope so. Was he using your condom in the parking lot?
No.
Oh, Joanna.
I know, do you think she's ever had sex with another man?
A guy like Tommy, I mean, as good looking as he is, I bet he's had opportunities.
Yeah, but... Oh, he's too good in bed to be a queer.
Well, that doesn't mean a thing. This one time I met a lifeguard. Oh, talk about sex. He could teach Tommy Chamberlain a thing or two. He was an animal. He loved sex, loved it. But then one time I showed up at an apartment and I found him in bed with a telephone repairman, which is obviously why I couldn't call him on my way over.
Oh my god, what did you do?
Oh, I went to Bennigan's and I picked up a busboy.
Have you ever had an ace test?
Yeah.
I'm too scared to take it. I mean, I know the chances are slim, but with my luck, aren't you scared?
Yeah, I was scared.
Well, what made you go through with it?
No, I thought that it was the responsible thing to do, and well, the lifeguard died. Shit, Trisha.
You had a baby? You're okay, aren't you?
Georgeanne, I'm fine.
No, I never knew anybody who had AIDS.
Oh, you will.
Well, I certainly don't want Tommy Valentine to have AIDS, but I'll tell you one thing. I can't wait for him to lose his legs.
Oh, well, it'll catch up with him, and he'll be one of those hatchet-faced old men that really good-looking guys turn into.
Yes, and he'll have one of those big red Ted Kennedy noses from drinking so much all his life.
And a beer gut.
And he'll lose his hair.
And I'm sure he'll wear golf pants.
Green golf pants that are too tight.
And then he'll just unbutton his shirt just enough more than he should.
Oh. No. He won't get any of that. He'll just get better looking as he gets older. He'll never gain any weight. He'll wear a t-shirt and blue jeans. And he'll have gray hair and be so gorgeous that it hurts to look at him. And I, on the other hand, will be big as a house. much makeup and I won't have any hair left from a lifetime of bad perms, and I'll get skin cancer from going to the lake too much when I was in high school, and I'll just wake up one morning and I'll be dead. And Tommy Valentine will read my obituary in the paper, and it won't even occur to him that he ever even knew me, much less slept with me.
Well, you were right. You are crazy.
Oh, I am one sick tick, baby. Well, I guess I should give up on my fantasy on getting laid by Sonny Carlone today.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, there are a lot of cute guys here.
Well, yeah, but find one who is straight, single. Oh, he has a job.
Maybe you need to lower your expectations.
Maybe I need to have a nervous breakdown. Maybe I need to have a big, loud, nasty, smelly nervous breakdown right when Dr. Marlowe goes to his father as a bride dance with the new and improved Tracy Marlowe McClure.
I'll give you $20 if you do.
Do not tempt me, Trisha. I just might.
That's good. That was really good, guys. I really liked the, in your monologue, like the standing and like the, see, I could see Tommy. Like, that was really good. Cool. Do you guys have any questions?
I had questions when I was like doing it.
Right, and now it's like, well, I don't remember.
Do you need me to still slow down on the monologue a bit more?
No, let me see.
Because I know that I was going fast before because it's kind of like, she's just like, everything is just like coming out of her and she just can't stop.
Right.
Sort of sense, but if you don't like that, I'll kind of go towards like very being particular on everything.
No, I thought that was really good. I think, you started out very slow and very like, yep, you know, Tommy's great, blah, blah, blah. And I think, I mean, it did pick up as you started talking about like yourself.
Myself.
But it wasn't too much. It was just enough to kind of express that, like,
That urgency
yes.
and that, okay.
Yeah. So I really like that.
Yeah,
It
I was
good.
wondering if that was translating or not.
Yeah.
Do you need me to be bigger or dial it down?
Right now, neither. I like it.
Okay, you like
Yeah.
it? I'll keep it. I'll keep it. I won't touch it.
Yeah. I really like the, like, frantic, like, crazy woman. Like, yeah, I'm digging it. It's great.
Okay, I'll keep it then. I was wondering if that was too much or...
No, especially, like, all of the, like, your little, like all of these little things.
I actually do those things in real life, so...
Hey, that's great. Yeah, you know, inserting part of yourself in the character. I like it.
Okay, good. I'll keep it then.
That was great.
So I can have a, sorry, we're done.
No, I was gonna ask you.
So basically, so similar though, because I feel like Trisha is like, she's very like casually just like getting ready, like not caring about much, but she's like, I'm just done everything else, whatever, because she's, whatever, feels like she's more mature at least. But in the end, so the fourth page, when it's like, we're having this like back and forth, like, she's like, oh my gosh, a beer gut, he'll lose his hair, like whatever. I feel like that's when she like kind of like loosens up and she's like talking like, oh, we're talking about boys again, this is fun. Like, does that hit well, or is
Yeah.
it like?
No, I like it. It definitely, like, I don't want this to sound like rude, but it like gives Trisha kind of personality.
Right,
you know,
right,
like
right.
she's been kind of this like blank slate the whole
Like,
time,
did
and
you want
just
her to be
like
a blank slate before and then like open up when she like feels like she's connecting again, or like in this moment, or?
Okay, so I mean, I'll let you kind of play with it.
Yes.
One thing that, as I was doing like the play analysis for this, is when it comes to like the world and how Trisha feels about like life and whatever. Her personality, like her belief, is kind of like the world kind of sucks, so like you have to like make the most of it and just take what's yours.
Okay.
So just like it kind of like supports that independent attribute we were talking about.
Okay.
And so like not necessarily a like boring blob, but she's obviously not as like eccentric as Georgeanne is. But yeah, play around with giving her life in other areas.
Okay, good, thank you.
And
Yeah, because I don't want to just be like,
right, no, totally.
which I feel like I haven't, so I apologize for that. But.
No, you're fine. It was great for being a first rehearsal with us. Like,
Yeah, okay.
One more question.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I stand up a little earlier before the big monologue? I felt an instinct to stand up, but I just didn't take it. Is it
absolutely.
okay?
Feel the instinct to do it.
Okay. Because I kind of felt like not super awkward. I turned it around and made it motivated, but like I felt motivated earlier to do it.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. Follow what you're feeling. If it's too much or whatever, like I'll tell you.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
yeah.
You might need to tell me to calm down.
No, it's great. I love the energy.
No, that's a great quality.
Yeah, tonight was very like, oh, this is like good casting choice. Like, so, yeah. So I just wanted to kind of go over the calendar for the next little bit. One of my questions is if you guys are sticking around for Thanksgiving, and if you are, if you're willing to rehearse sometime that week. If you don't know yet. Yeah, if you don't know yet, that's totally fine.
When is Thanksgiving break?
When does it start? I think it's just that Monday. I think it's the 23rd.
23rd, is that whole week? Or is it just like that one day?
No, I think it's the 25th. I think it's like Wednesday through something. You know, after like years of having Thanksgiving breaks, you would think that I'd be like, yeah,
I'll
this
look
is
it up. I'll look it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll look it up in Canvas.
I think for me, I will be really free before, like after Thanksgiving break will be a little bit difficult to schedule for me,
Okay.
but I still can do it obviously. But so I'm good.
Okay.
Whenever you guys let me know.